Welcome to another season of the often cloudy Sid's View.
I mean,
The hell?
are we? What in the hell was that? Yes.
I don't know.
Practice. That's what we.
I meant to do this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I like that little preview of the nostalgia nugget. Really.
Yo, what's up, Keeter? Loyal fan of the show.
My man Keith.
Got to see him down at Speed Weeks. That was fun. Very exciting.
My man Keats came in clutch. He helped me get some permission for some footage on the Stefanik dot. You know, he's connected now.
Dude.
Yeah. You need to get somebody down south. You just give Keats a call.
He's kept his
Rich,
roots.
He's
kept his roots
help me
here.
out, buddy.
He's been great. I think he got me tickets
Team
one
player.
time. He really is.
Yeah.
Yep. Good job, Keeter. Always was a good guy.
Missed those double checkers down at the bowl. Keeter used to throw them right in your face.
It was good too. What a great time.
You can't really sit near the flagman now, but that's a whole other story.
Yep. That was a great era at the bowl.
Yeah.
Tapley, him.
Yep.
Webby.
Fox before him.
Fox.
Yep.
It's a great era. It's great racing.
Agreed.
Ah, it was awesome. One day again, Keeter will be back at the bowl when he retires. Doing the double checkers.
Someone said, "How the hell are you guys in Remy?" I wish I could tell you.
Yeah,
Right.
well, hey. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
You guys nervous? I got like new season
Nervous?
jitters a little bit.
New season jitters. I'm
Right.
good, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you really have new season jitters?
A little bit. It kind of feels like it's first episode ever for some reason.
Come on.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, well,
How do you think I feel, dude?
yeah. Are you nervous?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Nah.
Yeah, you are. You might
A
be.
little bit. It's a little,
Little
that's
bit,
right.
little bit.
It's
It's all
first,
right, it's all right.
first true live show.
It's
He's got it.
yeah, I'll be all right.
Come in looking fresh, though. I can tell you that.
That was the plan. Yeah.
Hell yeah. He's like, I'm coming in looking good. I don't
I got
care.
the shirt on. I got the shoes on. The
Hell yeah.
table, dude.
Remi's tuning in. She's in the chat.
Oh,
No way.
How do you say her last name?
PTO.
PTO, personal time
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
That's awful, Sid.
Sorry, minute to go here.
Oh my God, yeah, Remy. Hope Remy's having a good damn time. I'm jealous.
I
know
mean,
my wife is.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good seeing you too, James. Hell yeah. Looking forward to another positive year of racing. I'm gonna try to keep it nice.
Yeah.
I don't want to get myself
It's a
into
reborn Diego.
too much trouble on
Reborn.
the show. It'd be very easy to get in trouble. Say some bad things about some
That's
bad.
what I've been thinking about. Like,
No. Everyone's gonna be nice, happy. We're all.
No, but sometimes you got to call it like you see it, and
Well,
you're
I
like,
know.
oh, I just.
I
you
don't
know?
I don't want to get in trouble, dude.
Well, what I do know is we got 5 seconds of dropping. Here it comes.
Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Man Cave for a brand new season of the Sid's View podcast. We got a lot of cool new things to show you. Lots to talk about as well. My man Diego's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Back at it again with all you fine people looking to get in some trouble this year. Maybe not. Another great year. Looking forward to it.
All right, we're going to kick it over to the controls. And somebody unfamiliar sitting over there.
Emma Kirby, the one doing this.
Well, no, because you're not even here.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Rob back in the house. Now, I can't hit the yo like Remy can, but I can tell you one thing. We got a new season, new guests, new graphics. Everything's new, and I can't wait to get it started for you.
Damn straight. So if Rob's over here on the controls, that means the bullpen seat is open. So we once again got my main man, Mason Silva, down there to join us. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, glad to be back. Have the cheeses in the house, all ready to go.
Hell yeah!
That's my man. All right, everybody. Glad to have you aboard. We also have in studio with us our main man, Jack Pixton. He's going to be chilling with us. He's going to be doing some March Madness stuff with us. Camera guy over at Stafford. He's going to be hanging out with us, doing some Sid's View, maybe some Monaco Mod stuff as well. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? Good to be here.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming in. We needed that fifth guy for the March Madness. Our man Fran could not make it happen this year. So we want to tell everybody that you, if you want to become a member and join the live chat, you got to go to youtube.com/SidsView. Nope. youtube.com sidsview/join. It's been a long off
You
season.
had it right.
Yeah,
You
man.
had
It's
it
been
right.
a while since I
Oh,
said
A
yeah.
that.
little
Yeah.
rusty. It's all right.
So, anyways, $4.99 a month. Not only can you join the live chat, but you can also get bonus content every Thursday. And we're also thrilled to have our friends over at Monaco Ford joining us once again to do the results ticker. So we got some of the things that were happening down south. Give you a little bit of when the season is starting. And so listen. I am actually a little bit more relaxed than I have been in the last couple months
Yeah, no,
because
Oh, yeah.
seriously, dude.
Yeah.
the Stefanik doc is finally completed and out there on the interweb. And I got to tell you, it's been getting a great response. And I don't know, you guys all had a chance to watch it. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was very well done. I texted him earlier today and I said I was watching it and like, you know, now I can see why he always makes an argument that he's better than Teddy Christopher,
Right.
and like they're neck and neck. So
Yeah.
Who's that? You're talking about Stefanik.
yeah, Stefanik.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, I honestly didn't see the documentary that way. That's just my view.
Yeah.
It, the way you portrayed Mike and his abilities and the way he drove is very clear. And the way he looked up. I'm going to be honest. Before we started this whole podcast and stuff,
Yeah.
I'm not a historian. I only know what I watched from the 80s at the Speedbowl. I didn't know anything really about Richie Evans. I knew he was great.
Yep.
I didn't know how great he really was, honestly. And the more we did the episodes, the more of the nostalgia nuggets that you had presented. And, and this is just me being brutally honest. At first, the nostalgia nuggets was going on with you and you were doing it. I was like, it's okay.
Wow.
How long is
No.
that going to be? Yeah.
Right. And I'm not I'm sure I'm not the only one because the younger generation, they have no idea who.
Yeah.
Do you think they care about hearing about Richie Evans? But the more that we did them throughout the year, the more interested I started becoming
Yep.
in the history. And so then when you did the documentary and, listen, Mike Stefanik was a badass.
Yeah.
God, he was so good. I didn't realize he was that good.
Yeah.
I remember the 90s when he had the Burnham boiler cars. I remember vividly wherever we went, he won.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like to me back then.
Yeah. And that X6 car. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And the 51.
Yep.
Both cars. And so to think that, did he tie or break Richie Evans?
So they both have 9 NASCAR championships. That's the most all time in NASCAR.
Yeah.
Richie's were all in the modifieds.
The photo's great with him next to the, with all the rings on at the banquet.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
an awesome pick. Yep. So Michael's got 9 as well. 7 are in the mods and 2 are in the Busch North, obviously. And he did those, the Busch North and the mods in the same year, in back-to-back years.
Tremendous.
Yeah, which is
Listen,
no one's ever going to do that again.
You know who else I thought was great on the thing? All your interviewers were fantastic. It was great to hear all the kind words from Andy Santerre.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't involved in racing at that time, you really didn't know who Andy Santerre was, maybe. But
Right.
he was an unbelievable,
4 straight Busch North titles.
unbelievable, and just as good, if not better, chassis guy.
Yeah.
That guy could run a team. He could win a race himself.
Yep.
So for him to tell the story after Stefanik died and the feelings he felt,
Yeah.
it just shows how much of a impression Mike Stefanik
Right.
had left on people.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was truly, and I know I'm jabbing on because that's what I do best on this show.
Absolutely.
but the picture that you painted for everybody
Yeah.
was great.
Right.
And I'm just going to say that, it was great.
Yeah, and I mean, Sid, like I'm a big video editing nerd.
Yeah.
So like again, we've been around filming stuff, doing graphics, like so I'm a lot interested in even invested in like the technical side of this.
Right.
And I had heard like bits and pieces, like probably an hour and a half of like finished doc footage
Yeah,
before
yeah.
it came out.
Yep.
But when you watch the full thing, you get that emotional gut punch still.
Yeah.
And that's how I know you did a good job framing
Right.
it. Sid. That's where I'm like, all right, that's good stuff right there.
I think I also looked at it, still being fairly new to the sport, right? Like I absorb all the info that I can because I feel like that will make me more knowledgeable about everything. So watching
course,
it and
yeah.
learning more about it for
Yeah.
me was the benefit of it. You know.
You know, I learned a lot too. It's not, and I do this all the time with these docs. It's not like I knew everything that's in the doc before I started. Like,
Right.
you know, there's that part about him and Mike McLaughlin, like learning that figured out the drafts on the first race
Back
there.
and forth, back and
Yeah,
forth.
I knew nothing about that when I first started this, or that race, that epic race that him and Reggie had at the park in like 1988.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was awesome
Was that
footage.
great?
That was
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Such
dude.
good-
So, you
yeah.
know, I remember going back to Riverside. I think I maybe watched one or two Saturday night races. My buddy Anthony Saldemarco had a Mustang that he ran there.
Yeah.
And we would go, but it always seemed like, man, it's such a small track.
Yeah.
How the hell do they race here?
I know.
And when you watch that video in the Teddy Bear Pools car,
Right.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
And the way those guys raced, I'm not sure that would happen today that way
Right.
with today's drivers.
Yeah.
So, you know, the way that Stefanik's career was ending, and I don't mean to jump the script here with it, but it was classic because today's racing, it was spot on. It wasn't and it was pissing him off
Right.
that he couldn't race. And there's very few racers today. You know, there's some out there that run really clean. And I know he's my nephew, but one of the first ones is like a Brody. He's not a banger.
Yeah.
And it upsets Sean sometimes and me. Like, you got to get in there and
Right.
move him.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's not his style.
Yeah.
And today's environment with kids, Phil Evans' kid's another one that's really smooth and clean.
Yeah.
But then you get a guy like me that's a complete hack. And
A hack.
You know what I
Describe
mean?
hack.
well, you know, you're blocking, you're banging, you're doing whatever you got to do.
Yeah,
to
you're no
win.
Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. It painted a picture, and it was at a point, it seemed like at the end, like, you know, this just isn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
I really like finding there's certain parts, like a lot of times when you're doing an interview, you'll know like right away when somebody says something and you're going to be like, oh, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
I can give you a couple examples. There's that segment about, you know, Michael becoming a father and the family man. And then Dave Dion was an old Bush North champion. And he's talked about how he went there and he was fishing with one of Stefanik's daughters.
Yep.
And he was like, you know, you catch a lot of fish. And
Oh,
she's
yeah,
like,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they went back to Michael and said, Dave doesn't know how to fish. You know?
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite segments.
Yeah.
Like that, when I was saying like the emotional impact of it, I
Yeah.
mean, obviously I've seen and heard about Mike Stefanik in the context of racing, but that was what really made it like a whole new experience.
Right.
Was to see that side of it in the pictures. I mean, I don't know how the hell you even got those, to be honest.
So, so that's a good point here. So let me just give some shout outs if I can, because it was a long project. It took over a year to make. And so I want to give just another shout out to my man Robbie Summers and Hoosier Tire East. They were the presenting sponsors for this project. And it was really his commitment early on that really made me think like, okay, this is going to happen, because I knew it was going to involve a lot of travel. And of course, that makes you need a bigger budget when you got to do a lot of traveling. And so Sean Waddell Communications, he sponsors the podcast. He sponsored so many things that we've done over the years. Ed Marceau, he has the Barnyard Raceway. They did a huge fundraiser there. We raised a ton of money that helped. Bobby Caton over at J&R Precast, and Joe Scott Nicky, who was in the dock in the Race of Champions. Those guys were just a huge help, getting this project to the finish line. And of course, Skip Wilcox, who was Michael's best friend, he was really kind of like my right-hand man, really helped me in terms of, getting in touch with people. A ton of, like, half the people that I needed to contact, I got their information through Skip. Of course, Julie being a part of it was definitely something that I wanted to make sure that she would be on board with before we got started. And then when it comes to the pictures, got to give a shout out to my man Fran, who just has an amazing archive of photos.
Yeah.
Not only he's got photos from his own archives. His father was Peter was a photographer a long time, and he's got Howie and Mary Hodges archives.
Yep.
And there's so many times that I would, there's a part in there when Barry Cannell tells a story about Michael. He was doing the dual championships, and so he was going back and forth all the time, and he was jumping into the modified and would just say, like, Barry, are we all set?
Right.
And Barry said, yeah, we're all set. And he got in the car, and like he actually had a picture of Michael getting into the car at Thompson with Barry like off to the side. And
Yep.
every time that Fran comes through with a picture like that, it just helps tell the story so much better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And then just a lot of other things like when his daughter told a story about driving the X6 tribute car, and we had that footage.
That was a great part.
Yeah.
When you watch that part of the documentary, it almost made you feel sad. I didn't know Mike Stefanik, but watching the doc,
Yeah.
it made you feel sad.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it made you feel a different emotion. It's like it is a movie. It's like watching a movie
Yeah.
and you feel this emotion like, damn, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, damn, that happened. That's too bad that, no kid wants to do that.
Right.
And, so the emotions just kind of overcome you. If my wife, she watched pieces, but I'm certain if she watched it from start to beginning to the
Yeah.
end, she'd be sobbing like a baby on the couch.
Yeah.
I know she would.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good part, and of course, obviously, the day that he died, and that whole segment, and then of course everybody sharing where they were when they heard the news is
Yeah.
all it's a downer listening to all that. So it's important that you have the story with his daughter doing the X6 car, and then him getting inducted into the Hall of Fame to kind of bring the mood up a little
Right.
bit, and then
Right. It's still bittersweet, but
Yeah.
it's better than just bitter.
yeah, for sure.
Listen, because I know I was surprising you when I told you I watched the
Oh yeah, I was impressed.
Because I was like, we had a busy weekend. My little daughter JJ was doing dancing in Boston,
Right.
so I'm trying to do both and watch some. And then
Yeah.
I came home early Saturday night, and I was able to pop it up and watch at least an
Dude,
hour and a half. You know what I mean?
Me and Sid were like, "There's no way he watched it."
Yeah.
we were making bets in the
Well,
studio.
see, that's
beforehand.
terrible. That's terrible.
We
You
sold
guys
you
are-
short.
You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
sell-
yeah, that's awful.
No, so good job, dude.
Well,
Good job.
Thank you
Good
kindly.
job.
Well, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was a lot of work. I'm glad that it's over, and I'm glad that it's out there and everybody can see it. And I always loved, like, there's so many people that I got to meet, and I got to meet and interview Steve Park. I got to meet and interview Mike Joy. I got to meet and interview Reggie.
I even
And,
like Todd Zegedy.
Yeah, Zegedy was great.
Zegedy was
great. Yep.
man. He was really a good interviewer,
Yep.
and
we talked about Matt Hirschman when he did the interview, and I told you that he didn't have much, but he
Yeah.
did have a good story.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that whole story about, are you going to count that with the whole MRS wins? and
Oh, yeah,
everything?
that's a great story.
That's a great story.
He calls him right up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great story. And then the whole Daytona debacle.
I was there.
Where, Daytona?
Yes, I
Oh,
was.
that's right. You were in the
2013?
stands,
Oh,
right?
I went to
No
both
way.
years. They had it. I went back-to-back years to that race.
Yeah.
And I watched that whole thing. So at the time I was there, so I didn't hear the interview,
Right.
Okay.
all that stuff. I knew he had made it to Jay Leno,
Yeah.
but to hear Steve Park's side of the story and the amount of respect that Steve Park had for
Yeah.
Mike Stefanik,
Mm.
Yeah.
and could you imagine how he felt that night? Like, he knows that he didn't do it,
Right.
and Eric Goodale had shoved him. It was clear as day what had happened there.
Yeah.
And he's probably thinking, these guys hate Steve Park. Steve Park's like, I didn't even freaking do it.
So,
Right.
Eric Goodale says on the broadcast that he basically tried to shove them both out of the way
Oh,
and hope for
typical.
the best.
That's the
Yeah, very
typical
classic.
move.
And I was like, should I put that in there? And I'm like, I don't think we don't really need it. We don't need it.
But it happens.
Emphasize it, but
It happens every day. Ricky Rotunda used to say to me all the time. So I don't know if you know Ricky. He used to run
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah,
Eric
yeah.
Burnt's crew chief.
yeah.
So one time I get into a pretty good wreck with Jeff Rocco, and I don't feel like I did it. And Ricky says to me, Diego, here's how you do this. You always blame the guy behind you. And this time it really was true, because Goodale had pushed Park, but that whole interview there with Park, was awesome, because I was a monster fan
Mm,
of Steve Park. He was probably my favorite.
yeah.
Of course, everybody loved Dale Earnhardt.
Yep.
Steve Park came from our neck of the woods. I remember him
Right.
in the 8 car. I
Yeah.
remember clear as day him driving that before Fuller got in it. And then when he was in the Pennzoil car, I loved
Yeah.
that yellow car with the black stripes and the
Dude.
Pennzoil.
Right.
Yeah.
He was my favorite. And he was going to make it. I mean, he was
was.
Yeah.
making it.
Yep. No, I mean, here's my dad's
And-
favorite too. But like, when my dad and mom made the invitations for like my first birthday party, you know, obviously I didn't really know what the hell was going on because I was 1.
Yeah.
But they put the DEI 1 and made the whole card look like Steve Park's car,
Seriously.
which is kind of awesome. I wish I could
Yeah,
have, but
yep.
like, they were about it.
Yeah, he was a really good interview. Michael's sister Teresa was an amazing
I thought
interview.
she was great.
She was great. And Barry Cannell was an amazing video. I got a really nice phone call from him the other
Yep.
day, and I told him, I said, I don't know if you know this or not, Barry, but you're a pretty good storyteller.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't know how you do that. He says, I guess, you know, I know how to build race cars, and but you're really good at this. And I said, yeah, this is my thing.
Yeah.
You know?
How about did you hear the story? I mean, this is like, you know, we got to put this motor back in the other car because they wrecked the car. in
Oh,
practice.
yeah. When he
And
from 40th
Stefanik
to
wanted the motor
Yeah.
out of that car, but the valve got bent.
Yeah.
And so not only did they have to do the whole complete, but they had to fix the motor on top of it.
Yeah.
It was impressive as hell.
Yeah.
And then they come back and win from dead last with that same motor.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he was a great interview, and Sly was a great interview.
Oh.
And like, you know, when you have those two guys that are like in the trenches, how about when they were talking about in the '82 season when they had he built that prototype,
Oh yeah.
right? And then they built that pro stock and they had like the coilover, but it wasn't a coil. How
And they
about
put the little springs in.
I had a
Dude,
picture of that?
that's
setup.
unbelievable. We
Isn't
were
that
talking
crazy?
about it in the race shop. Don says to me, "Did you see the little spring in the front of that thing?" He's like, "Well, he's still going to do it,
Yeah.
regardless." Oh, it's unbelievable.
I had Julie gave me a couple scrapbooks and I was looking through it, and you know me when it comes to,
Yep.
you know, and I was like, so I scanned the picture and I think I sent it to Sly and I was like, is this that coilover that wasn't
Yeah.
a coilover setup? He's like, oh yeah, that's it. And I was like,
Listen,
oh, sweet.
You know, why are you bringing his name up?
Yeah.
I thought he was great.
Yeah. So that was the most delicate situation with this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Obviously, if you watched it, the way the Flamingo team ended was not good.
Right.
And I was struggling on how to tell that story where everybody who was involved would be okay with it.
Yeah. Right.
Very hard.
And I figured, you know, there's a lot more to that story than that was in the doc, but I felt like the most important part of it was that twofold. The sport was changing, and Mike Stefanik, who got paid as a veteran race car driver to make a living,
Yeah. Right.
and now the sport is where the best rides are usually somebody that brings money and or
Yeah,
a sponsor
right.
that has money.
And now you're paying.
And now, right, and they pay to drive, and it's hard for the car owners to say no to that.
Right.
And so that was part of it. And then, of course, that they were just really good friends, and the
Yeah.
way that team dissolved busted up that friendship basically permanently.
Dude,
and
it was sad.
yeah, and I was thankful that Sly was as willing as he was to talk about it pretty candidly. And so not only was he good in terms of the early parts of Michael's career, but during that situation. And I was telling Rob this the other day, like, I didn't know how I was going to handle it, and I couldn't give you the play-by-play of how I got through that edit, but I knew when I was done that I felt that Sly was going to like it,
Right.
Julie was going to like it, Skip was going to like it, the Flamingo guys were going to like it, and it
Yeah.
was just I felt I was like, I think I got this right.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot less, I feel like, logical reasoning behind editing
Yeah.
than people think. You
Right.
you kind of just get to a point where you're like, oh, this feels right. Like, all right, ship it.
Yeah,
And
right.
you know, obviously with that, it probably takes more care than usual.
When you looked at the involvement that Sly had, you know, with his whole career,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable. Did you see the interview? I mean, he kind of looked like Larry McReynolds back in the day when you had the Sly with the glasses on.
Oh yeah, the big
I'm gonna
80s
ask him-
glasses.
Yeah, I see him every
A
day.
little bit of a mullet.
I'm gonna
yeah.
say,
Yep.
Sly, do you have contacts in, or did your eyes get fixed? But you know, it seemed like the core group of people that Stefanik was involved with Skip to Cannell to, there was all these different pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
And so this is what I can say about this. The only way that you can be really good is by surrounding yourself with really good people.
100%.
100%.
And that's
yeah.
exactly what Mike Stefanik was good at. If I had to read the doc, everybody knew what they were doing and had their little
Yeah.
pieces. And I'm talking the chassis builder that was just coming in to help. Well, I forgot his name. Who was that? There was in the beginning part.
Richie Kearns?
Yeah,
The older guy.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
took care of the motor. He was only in charge of the drivetrain, but Mike Stefanik said this guy can build. He can do anything.
Oh, the resident genius?
Yeah.
Dave Torini. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's from the old wood choppers of the Casella days. Yeah.
Yeah. He is fantastic too. I mean, that's how the doc.
So you think about the crew chiefs that Mike Stefanik had in his career.
Yeah.
He had Sly. He had Dave Torini, who, I mean, not technically a crew chief, but, guys that were crew chiefs that worked with him. Sly, Dave Torini. During the Bush North heydays, he had Zipadelli. He had Barry Cannell.
Yep.
Then he was with Ken and Art Berry.
Yep.
And then with Flamingo, it was Sly again.
Yeah.
And then when he was with Chris Auer and Eddie Marceau, he had Brad LaFontaine.
Right.
Yeah. And then when he came back to the Bush North in the early 2000s, I don't think he was officially his crew chief, but Andy Santiero was preparing the cars. So to your point, he always was surrounding himself with some big time people.
Dude, that list is unbelievable.
Isn't it
Like when
crazy?
I even know all the names, like before I had started doing any of the podcast stuff, like that's how you know it's stats.
Right,
That's
right.
how you know.
You know what's even more impressive though is that so part of your deal was when he had crashed a plane and the comment that he Skip had said like he would never drive somebody else's race car.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That he didn't that if he didn't touch it and he did it with the plane. So, obviously it came back and hurt him.
Yeah.
But the ability that he had after watching that to build cars, to bring his front end geometry to Spafco
Yeah.
and build a car, the silver car, he and Kenny Berry built that car,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
He was no idiot.
Right.
No.
He was not only was he one hell of a driver,
Right.
but I know just from talking to Daryl and a few other people, but the dude was smart. He knew what he was doing on the track at all times.
Yeah.
Like he was a thinker and he knew what he was doing. That's why he was good.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, man.
So listen, I appreciate all you guys watching. Mason, you even watched it too, didn't you, buddy?
Yeah, I watched it.
You like it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So it's on the YouTube channel now. It's there forever, so hopefully you check it out. It's got it's I don't know, I think we're somewhere in between like 5,000 and 6,000 views or something like that.
Already?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's got some good traction. The feedback has been amazing.
Well, somebody else might hire you.
Yeah. Listen,
He's like, not for a while.
I'll answer my phone.
I think he's good for 2-3
like,
years, maybe.
My brain is fried right now.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, right. It is. Well, I mean, they're exhausting. I think the only other person that would really truly know what I'm talking about is Bonsa because he did the TC doc.
Oh yeah.
And even when Skip called me to see if I wanted to do this, he called, I would say a couple months maybe after I did the Desaro doc, and I was like, I would love to, just can't do it right away. Like,
yeah, right.
It's still gonna decompress a little bit. You know what I mean? So, but. Yeah, I'm thrilled with how it came out. I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad that everybody can see it, and I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it.
How about I watched it?
Yeah, that's impressive.
I
know I did my job.
None of us expected
Right,
that.
right.
That's funny.
That's shocking.
Shut up, Jack.
All right, let's.
I love you, buddy.
All right, let's get after it here. Remy's not here, so Jack is going to fill in and do the weekly update for us. Let's check it out.
All right. Of course, I want to give a thanks to Belltown Motors. Great people over there. So, all right. Jade Abdison becomes the first woman to win on the Cars Tour, which started back in 2015. She said, obviously, I want to be the first to cross the finish line, but a win is a win. I'll take it. I'm very proud of everyone behind me. She won because TJ Desare became disqualified due to an infraction in a post-race inspection.
Listen,
so
the girl in the 24, the Donnie Wilson car, only because I follow the series now.
Right.
But I think she came from dirt racing.
Yeah.
And I got a small story to tell you. Can I tell you the story?
Please do. We like
yeah,
stories.
Absolutely.
So we're down at New Smyrna racing, right?
yeah.
And there was a restart with 2 to go. I don't know if you remember, but it was Renfrew on the bottom and Jones on the top. And we had a choice to either go to the bottom or the top. What should we do? Well, we go to the top because Brody's running better on the top. Anyways, Renfrew goes in, hits the 44. There's a big smash up. The whole side of Brody's car. I mean, I'm talking smoked. Tire mark. So Sean takes the door off. He goes down the Jade because he thinks Jade did it.
Oof.
Walks in her pit area.
That's
says,
not a sight you want to see.
could you sign this door for us so we can put it at our shop? You know, he don't care.
Oh.
After watching the video, she didn't even do it. So
Right.
he had to, when they went to this last race, he had to apologize to her. And she says to him,
Yeah,
I
that's a
didn't
nice
know-
twist.
I didn't know why you had me sign that door.
Right.
Anyways, she is badass.
Yeah.
The chick can drive. Down at New Smyrna, she was at the top of the speed charts in
Yeah.
practice. She didn't qualify great, but they got it going on. I think that female, my gut tells me she's going to go somewhere in racing. It's not the last time you heard her name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really believe that. So you heard it here.
Connor Hall wins the Cars Late Model Series opener for JR Motorsports at New River Speedway. Brody Monahan finished
Yep.
10th.
He got shipped, but
Carson Lofton finished 4th.
Hey, still technically
well,
top 10.
yeah, he
Still
got
technically
broomed with
top
like
10.
he got
I mean,
broomed with 2 to go. He should have had a 5th place finish. But
Yeah.
whatever.
you can't
Yeah.
win them all, or you
Carson-
can't get top 5 in
Yeah.
all, I guess.
Carson Lofton finished 4th in his debut on the tour.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
He left the Smart Tour.
Right.
Yeah, we were
where
talking
he
about
was
it a lot.
unbelievably
Yeah.
successful.
Yep.
Right? He left all that behind to chase the Fendered dream.
Yep.
The Fendered dream.
Right? That's what it is.
You're just dropping sound bites like a
I know.
champ,
All right.
huh?
Make that into a reel,
Give-
please.
Yeah, we're gonna have to redo this whole board practically.
All right. Blake Barney wins the Smart Modified opener at Florence Motor Speedway.
Mhm.
Jake Crum finished 2nd in Jimmy Blewett's 99 car.
Oh yeah.
nice.
Jake Crum's driving for Blewett. Christopher Bell goes back-to-back at Circuit of the Americas. Ryan.
Oops, sorry.
No,
did
go
you
ahead.
guys did you see how they played the video clips back
Dude.
and forth from the year before with Bush and Bell?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
Bush
did
was
see
a
that.
complete he was just being so rude to
Yeah.
Bell.
Yeah.
So Bell was like with kid gloves behind him. I mean, Bush was blocking the. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like
Yeah.
a drive-in roadblock, and Bell is. He said after in his interview, from what happened the previous year, he took his time.
Yeah.
Right.
I really had to take my time with
Right.
this one.
Yeah, now Bush is strangely good at that track. I don't really get how, because it's not like he's a big road course guy. You know, RCR is not that strong in road courses, but he always seems to magically be there at the end of Coda.
Yeah,
And let me just say, I'm relieved we finally got a clean finish in Cup.
yeah,
It's nice to see it actually play out to the end.
Yep.
I don't know if you could really call it 100% clean racing, but
Yeah.
like
I don't know.
they all seem to be in a good mood after, right?
I don't like that they race at, especially that track, just because it's not. I don't think it's not meant for that type
It's
of
not,
car.
but they changed the layout this year.
I know, but like even then, I just think it's not. It's meant for the Formula One guys.
Right.
Like it's
Not that they race good either on it.
No,
but-
I'm not saying that.
Right.
I'm just saying I just when I think of like NASCAR and stock car, I just think of ovals.
Right.
Can I give you my NASCAR adjacent take on the race?
Yeah, go for it.
So I wasn't even watching it. Right? And then Rob texts the group chat and says, "Hey, Priest won stage 2." I'm like, "No kidding, huh? All right, I'll check this out."
Oh my
So I
God.
settle
what
in.
and sinker.
Of course, they restart the stage, and he's not even in the top 20. I'm like, "What the hell?" And so I was starting to get pissed off watching it, and then towards the end, I was kind of all into it. Man.
Wow,
Yeah.
Sid,
What
you
do
like
think?
the road course
those
Cup
three
race.
guys-
No, the race
My
at the
God.
end.
At the end,
Oh, that was
yeah.
getting good.
That was good.
I
That
was like, wow, this is a road course. Ryan is in like 20th. And,
Not even.
And I'm actually into this. I was
Did you
surprised.
see the last restart? The leaders went into that last restart because there was a restart with like 3 to go, wasn't there? 4 to go.
I
no,
don't think so.
it was
Was-
like
Was it
They had
more
like
than
a
that?
15 lap
Yeah, it was
run.
like a 15 lap.
Oh, was
yeah.
it that many?
Yeah.
Anyways, they all went into one perfect side by side, like complete
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be the start of hammer time, right? Because that leads into another 2 laps of yellow, hammer time again.
Yeah.
Now we're in overtime.
Yeah, you
That
get closer and
fast.
closer to the checker, and you just
Yeah.
get worse and worse.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was proud of him for cleaning it up after the first start. You know, you have Chastain wrecking. Gibbs was apparently flying again. I don't know if anybody caught that, but Gibbs basically did a repeat of the Clash thing.
Yeah.
really.
All 4 wheels off the ground. I don't know. I saw it on Denny's in-car.
Yeah.
But glad they cleaned it up, and the driver seemed pretty happy about it, too. So
Yeah.
it's always
Peter's
good.
trying to get me to watch the truck race now. It's
I don't know. Easy, Cater.
One step at a
Yeah,
time, guys.
exactly.
One step
Baby
at a time.
steps. Baby steps.
Jimmy Blewett is going to sit out all of 2025 to medical issues. He had abdominal pain that began towards the end of last season, which has since been determined to be some type of infection in his intestine that's going to require some surgery. So,
Yeah, I remember at the end of last year he was battling some health issues.
Yeah.
That sounds painful.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, and listen, Jimmy's one of them love him or hate him kind of guys.
Yeah, he is.
I actually really like Jimmy. I think he's just whenever he's one of those guys where when he shows up, you're like, "Ooh, Blewett's here. All right, let's giddy up."
Right.
He's,
Right.
So all the best to him. I hope that
when he was at the track,
right.
you don't want him behind you. You know what I mean? Like you are driving like a scared chicken. Like let's get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
that's all I got.
I got one.
Yeah, go.
Oh, go for it.
I got one real quick.
Go ahead.
I actually got. I had to watch the Indy race
Oh boy.
because Fox.
No way, dude.
Dude, Fox had it on.
Right?
I didn't know NASCAR. This is how out of touch I am. NASCAR, did they buy the Indy Racing Series or something?
No, they just signed a deal with Fox, so Fox is gonna have, I think, most of the races on like Big Fox, not even
I
FS1.
thought NASCAR bought him. No.
I don't think so. That would be news to me.
But
Correct me if I'm
anyway,
wrong
so
in the
I
chat.
said these guys I watched because Remy always talks about this Newgarden, Joseph
Flippenberger,
Newgarden,
as Sid
or
calls him.
Flippenberger or whatever.
Same
So-
diff.
No, they had these great intros to the drivers. It was like they really hyped it up, and I
know.
actually I had it on in the shop. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this race.
Yeah.
And I never watch Indy, and that turned into a good race at the end. Chasing
Wow.
down.
What is going on
Stop,
here?
stop.
You're watching Indy races. I'm watching NASCAR road
Right.
I know,
You know,
changes are in the air.
Well, I hubby says to me, Diego, you been watching any practice? I'm like this is Indy practice. I'm like,
You watched Indy practice?
No, he was. I'm
Oh
like,
my
there's no
God,
way
Diego, I was
that
gonna
I'm.
say.
Good,
What are we talking about?
Yes.
We're talking about practice, man.
Oh my.
Welcome to the show, Alan. Glad to have you back for another year.
Oh.
All right, listen, it's that time again. The so popular segment
Oh, yeah.
that we like to call the Nostalgia Nugget. Oh,
Bang!
Solid.
all right, let's give it up to my man. First of all, we're going to give it up to my man Rob for all the great new graphics that he brought to the podcast for us this year. And also a big shout out to our man Sean Waddell, who once again is sponsoring the Nostalgia Nugget. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Barry Cannell. We talked to him in the about the Stefanik doc, and his history in the sport is something that I was quite fascinated with the more I started doing the documentary. So I'll just give you a little bit of his resume if you're unfamiliar with it. He was the crew chief for Bob Pulvereri at Riverside Park. They won modified championships in 75, 76, and 77, 3 straight years, and then another one in 1982. Barry took about a decade off from the sport and then came back in the mid-90s as part of Mike Stefanik's X6 car that was owned by Peter Beal and Charlie Bacon. They won 31 races in a 4-year span from 1995 to 1998, including the back-to-back championships 97 and 98, and a record 13 races in 1998. That broke Richie Evans' record of 12 from 1985, and that record still stands today. He then went on to crew chief for Tony Hirschman in the Gary Creedy number 25, then went on to crew chief with Ted Christopher for a little while in the Mystique Motorsports number 13, and then he paired back up with Mike Stefanik in the Flamingo Motorsports number 16. They again won the championship in 2006. Barry Cannell has 8 total modified championships during his career in Southern New England. And like I said before, a really nice guy. I'm really glad that I got to know him. And it's just one of those things. I remember leaving because he told me a lot about his career, during the interview. And I remember leaving saying, man, I just interviewed a legend.
Oh,
You know,
dude,
like,
no doubt.
You know what I mean? It's just one of the great benefits of doing these documentaries is the amazing people that you get to meet. So, yeah, that's our Nostalgia Nugget of the week. Now, we're not going to the bullpen because our man Mason's chilling there with the Cheez-It. So we're just going to kick it over to my left with my man Rob, and he's ready for this week's Popcorn Stat Chat.
Absolutely. Are you ready, gentlemen?
Bring it on, Rob.
Everybody's favorite segment is about to begin for a brand new season. Want to thank Hoosier Tire East. They're going to be with us for the entire ride this year. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, You may have watched Cup. You may have watched Xfinity even. I don't know. Probably not Sid, but some of you guys.
Let's settle down, Sparky.
Let me ask you guys, do you think Connor Zilich is the real deal?
Mason, what do you think? Real deal, yes or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's an affirmative.
There you go.
Definitely.
Hey, I don't know what you're looking at me for.
You don't watch him? No.
I just learned about it when we were
Yeah,
prepping
like
for
10
the
minutes
show.
ago.
Wow. Dude is official, man. I
Dude.
mean, I told you he was. Not only did he win Saturday the Xfinity race like a boss,
Dude, walk off.
right? And so he was the favorite to win that race. Could you imagine the pressure just being the favorite? Like, you have to win the race.
Right.
At 18 years
Yeah,
old.
that's what I was going to add. He's basically a high schooler.
Right. And then to race on Sunday, and if you went into DraftKings to bet him, he was a favorite there.
I had him in my fantasy.
Right. I mean, he's a favorite at 18 to win his first Cup race.
Right.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It is kind of insane to me. Now, you might remember last year we took a look at this NASCAR like regional power rankings sheet, and we were like, who is this guy? Like, why is he up here?
Yeah.
That was Connor Zilich.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
now it's starting to check out. You know, maybe they were right.
Yeah.
At least on him. Now, there were some other names that are definitely questionable, but maybe on him they were possibly
All right.
right.
They might have been on.
Possibly.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
and Zillage had a chance of winning that race. He started like dead last and
Right.
came up to like 14th, and then Suarez screwed him.
His teammate.
No.
That's a teammate, too.
Oh, yeah, but he was spot on, man. He got into an early race mingle or something, a
Yep.
jingle and jingle.
Mingle jingle.
And he came back through the field like a boss. Did anybody get a chance to watch his interview? Mace, did you see his interview?
No, I was at a soccer game.
Oh, yeah. Fox had
Priorities.
interviewed him, and he was just so nonchalant. And he's like, that was a lot of fun coming back through the field and passing
Yeah.
guys
Right.
that I've watched as a kid. You know, so which is awesome, right? 'Cause
I know,
he's 18
sure.
years
I know,
old.
like, what is really constituting
Looking
as
up-
a kid, like 2 years ago?
Well, he's looking up to Denny Hamlin. He's in elementary school watching the guy race, and now he's driving by him in his first Cup
Right.
race.
Yeah,
Right.
That's insane.
Right.
That's insanity,
That's
man.
right.
That's crazy.
On top of that, he also won the 24-hour race at Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mason dropping stats.
He knows what's up. He
I,
did his
I
foot
didn't,
prep.
I didn't even know.
It's my
Hey,
that.
man.
listen, how about this? And Keeter just brought it up.
Oh, yeah.
They brought Red Bull back. Remember when Red Bull was really big?
Yeah.
Right? They were big in the
Yeah.
sport.
And that long time ago, like 15
Oh,
years ago.
Yeah, at least they were huge in the sport.
Mm.
And to have Red Bull back in the game is huge for NASCAR.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
yeah, it's a big deal.
Alrighty. Now, it's getting a little more speculative here because obviously there's no racing going on outside of Sid's favorite Cup. What is your most
messed up.
anticipated? I'm sorry, I said I had to do it. What is your most anticipated division or touring series in Southern New England for 2025?
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I mean, you know, full disclaimer, a little biased, but I'm excited for the Monaco Modifieds this year, and we're going to be doing content with them again, and I'm excited about the, people that are lined up to race that series this year, and I'm also. Are we confirmed that Chapman and Beal are coming back to the trucks
God, I
at
hope
the
so.
Speedbowl?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that would pique my interest there. And I mean, both the SKs and the SK lights at Stafford is always absolutely a lot of fun to watch.
Well, there's a
you
lot
know?
of new guys. I mean, it's going to be cool to see what Tyler Chapman can do, when he's
Yep.
moving up,
Up
right?
in the
Yep.
SKs.
Yeah, he was so dominant.
Same with Alex Pearl.
Yep.
Same with Alex Pearl.
Yep.
Right. And I mean, after the speed weeks that Hovey had,
Yeah, I wouldn't
my
be shocked.
God.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I think they're running Stafford and Waterford.
Yep.
He has a chance, I think, and I don't want to jinx him,
Yep.
but to do like Tyler did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because
Yep.
I think they're that good with Keith Rocco Racing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a fan of him and he works for me, but I really think he's that
Right.
good.
I mean, yeah, Stafford will be tougher. I mean, he was pretty dominant last year. It's almost, if he didn't miss, what did he miss? First couple shows there? I mean, he had the most wins down there, didn't he, at Waterford?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be a force, without
Yeah.
a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yep. So there's a lot of different things happening.
Yeah. And I mean,
Yes.
Hovey, if Hovey's doing good, I mean, in my mind, that's almost good for like the entertainment aspect of it. Like, I know he's controversial, but Having the controversial figures is usually good for the overall product. I mean,
It
you
really
want
is.
the,
It's
right.
great for the sport.
It
you know
is.
he's going to piss somebody off along the way.
Yeah, it's fine.
So it's going to be fun.
Right.
Good for the podcast.
That's
Yeah,
good
exactly.
for the podcast, and it's good for Monday morning work chatter. He comes in, I'm like, Nick, what the hell were you thinking?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Oh, this is great. He's like, I'm not losing.
Yeah, I'll go with Sid. Probably SK's at Stafford,
Yep.
and then Rob's favorite SK Lights.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, I'm not actually going to go with SK Lights, believe it or not.
really,
I got two. I'll throw a 3 for you here, all right? I'm interested to see the expanded schedule with Monaco. I'm really interested to keep following the Sportsman over at Seekonk because I was very put onto that division last year. Truly no knowledge of it before last year. Now I know it's some of the best races you can find in this area.
Yeah.
And the street stocks at Stafford, I don't know if you've looked at the entry list, but it is getting kind of massive.
Yeah. What do you see in there? Anybody new?
Dude, I mean, I counted like 40 cars. I had to keep triple
Stocks
taking.
at Stafford?
Dude,
Yeah.
huge entry
Yeah,
list.
I think Waterford's track champ is
By the way,
going.
you
Yeah.
said Stalford.
Stafford. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What's up, Remy?
The water bowl's here.
Stalford. But, I think I'm almost certain Clemens is going up there to run,
Yeah.
right? That's pretty cool.
Double duty or
think so.
instead of the Speedbowl?
I think they're doing double duty.
Wow.
is Waterman doing double duty, or is he? Just,
I mean, I think I saw him on there. I don't want to,
okay.
Yeah.
incorrectly state that, but I believe he's going to be running at least some races.
Yeah, rosters can be tricky sometimes because sometimes people do it just to
Yeah,
hold a
part-time
number.
entries.
Yeah, or,
Yep.
yep.
I've really grown to love, listen, I love all the Speedbowl divisions.
Yeah.
I'm a Speedbowl guy, you know that, but I've really started to like Stafford. I'm interested in the tri-tracks for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun series. And when they do the combination race with the act, I'm really looking forward to that Wednesday night show. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, the one thing that I say, if I had to pick a division at Stafford, I'm drawn slightly to the SK Lights because Hubby's my boy, but the street stocks
Mm-hmm.
is going to be, and it's an exciting. I love Tyler Trott.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's got to come back. Downey's a character.
Yeah.
All that you could go on and on about that division.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, you never know until it gets started, but
Yeah.
you would think with Haidar moving up that division now could be an absolute slugfest all season,
Oh,
long,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
You know
and
what I mean?
I can't confirm Waterman is on the entry list. So again, like Sid said, you don't really know what
Yeah.
that means at this point, but I mean, his
Yeah.
name's in there with a lot of other names that could make for a pretty. I mean, Haidar is out of the division now. I mean, at least full time, it's not his main focus.
Yeah.
So, like in my mind, the door's wide open. We have
That's
no
true.
idea.
He still has his car, right?
Yeah.
So he's
They
going
won't
to come
sell
in.
it.
Yeah. He's just going to come in.
Yeah, he may.
Have
but
some
He
fun.
might, but
I'm
it's not.
sure-
It's not the main focus.
I'm sure
Right.
they're focused on the limited, and they
Right.
had that thing pimping at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's only going to be a matter of time before he starts winning there. The only great part about what he's got going on now, I think, the competition's a little stronger. It's like that whenever you move up, so it's a little bit more challenging for him now.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see. I thought last year everybody drove him like a complete jerk. That's just my opinion.
Yep.
They blocked him as much as they could. They
Right.
cut his right rear tire. I mean, it was something that Mike Stefanik would have been really pissed off about. You know what I mean? I mean, every race,
Not his
Sure.
type of racing.
yeah, every race, it was
Yes.
something different for him.
Right.
He should have won freaking 15, not 11.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Even then, I remember like Remy and I would when I could talk.
You're good.
When
So you
Remy,
just said Remy's name and the words
I know.
fumbling up.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens.
when Remy and I were in the infield
yeah,
at Stafford, and the stocks would come out, she would always look at me and go, "How many laps till Haidar's in the front?"
We're asking that in the trailer too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
It
mean,
was-
it was almost like an unspoken rule that you had to have a camera on him.
I know.
Yeah.
Because like if he
It
wrecked in the
was-
back of the pack, it was
yeah.
a story. If he was cutting through the pack, it was a story.
Yeah.
If he was leading the race, it was a story
Yeah.
because he's won so much. Like he was a camera hog, but
But
it was just by being so
it was
good.
deserved because
Right,
he was
exactly.
30 as hell.
Right.
So
What else you got, Chief?
All right, enough of the quick one for you. Who's going to be the winningest weekly Southern New England driver this year? Weekly, right? Not touring. Any of those divisions. Seekonk, Thompson, Stafford, Waterford. You guys get the picture.
You
Now-
got
Now, me and Diego have theorized that
I
we may have the
know.
same one.
I
I
know
don't
it.
know if he's thinking who I'm thinking, though.
I'll let these guys go first.
Okay, then we'll go after.
I would say because he's fast, he wins a lot, and we know he's running a couple tracks. I'm going with Hovey.
Mm. That's a good pick.
Thank
Not my pick, but
That's a good pick.
Thank you.
Oh,
You got to at least count. I mean, I'm going to go on and let me say 5 at Waterford minimum.
I mean, I'm thinking
Thompson, too.
across the tracks, he's going to win 10 races. He'll
10.
be in double digits, I would
10.
think.
yeah.
What a year.
I mean, you think he's going to go the whole season without making an appearance at Thompson?
There's no chance.
I don't know. I can't believe it. He's a racer.
I know.
His dad's a racer.
Right. And if he's winning races, he may.
The only thing
Anyway,
that's going
I
to stop
get
him is
overzealous.
reps.
That's my pick.
It's a good pick. What do you think, Jack?
I don't know. I'm trying to like think of guys that run multi tracks. You know.
Yeah.
Mace, you got anybody?
Probably gonna have to go Hovey also.
Nice.
Wow.
Great minds think alike.
I know that
My
new
man.
Smyrna got
My
everybody
man.
stoked on Hovey.
Oh yeah.
People got to come to the plate.
All right, so you guys were pre-show. We're talking like you thought you had the same
Okay,
pick. Let's
so
just get it out of the
let me
bag
just-
here.
Hold
Let's
on.
go.
I'm going to say, is yours a limited late model or a late model?
Oh, it's a late model.
Mine is too.
Oh, really? Who?
Oh.
What? You want to say it at the same time?
Okay,
I'll
1,
count it down.
2, 3.
Adam Gray. Yeah, I mean, the moment I looked at this guy, I knew what he was thinking.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's got a brand new. He's got a brand new late model out of BFR that was obviously just put out on social media.
Right?
Yep.
Listen, the dude is a beast in that division.
He was scary at the
I
end
mean,
of
how
the
many
year.
did he win
Scary.
last year? And he missed half the year. He's still the winningest driver.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Right? Remember me and you sitting in the stand, Sid?
Yeah.
And I had Gray, and I'm like, oh, here we go,
Right.
Sid. And I forgot who you had.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, that was
not happy.
fun.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Did you come up with somebody, Jack?
I'm thinking of Tyler Chapman, but I mean, I only know.
It's hard to say in the SK, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Dude, imagine he comes out though and he rips off like an SK light to your performance in the SK.
Can I give you
That
who
would
I
be
think?
just-
Can I give you who I think's going to win the most SK races this year?
Yeah.
Keith Rocco.
Wow.
That is bold right there, sir.
It's going to be my pick. Watch.
All right.
Watch.
Oh, we'll
All right.
be watching.
Well,
I'll
that's
I'll
the
say Nick Hovey just to be.
All right. I like that.
all
Yeah.
right. So Hovey's the favorite.
Hubby's the
Hubby won
favorite.
3-2 here.
Oh yeah,
3 for
3-2,
Hubby.
and Gray got 2.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
That's a stat chat, boys.
All right. Appreciate you, brother. It's time for another edition of the very popular Did You Know segment. How about a big shout out to Legion Speedway jumping in as a sponsor of the old podcast? Huh? Can't beat that. Appreciate those guys. So I was digging hard here for a Did You Know? And what happened here?
I don't know. I see question marks.
Oh, yeah, that's because I didn't do this. All right, I got it. First screw up of the night.
That's pretty
fine.
good.
49 minutes
we
in,
did
that's
good.
pretty good. Yeah. All right, so the MRS is coming back to the Speedbowl for Blastoff,
It's awesome.
right? So the MRS has been running races during the Blastoff on and off since 2010. Did you know that they have never had a repeat winner of the MRS Blastoff race?
Wow, really?
Yeah. Doug Colby in 2010, Pastriak in 2011, John McKennedy 2012, Steve Massey 2013, your boy Keith Rocco in 2014. Then they had it again in 2017, Anthony Nacella. Where are they now? Rowan Pennick in the 2018 edition.
Nasty.
And then last year, Matt Swanson.
Yep.
So
Wow.
we'll see when the Blastoff come about if that streak will continue. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's your Did You Know for this week on the old Sid's View podcast. So it's time for a segment we had a lot of fun with last year.
Mhm.
We started the podcast and we were like, what are we going to do in the month of March for content? So we created a little March Madness bracket. Last year we did it with modifieds. This year we're mixing it up and we're doing it with fendered divisions. So we debated how we were going to do this
You should just apologize to everybody. Hey, man.
quite often.
Yeah, this was months long of debate.
What I'm gonna do here is I am gonna put up the full bracket. Okay. Now we're gonna dive deep into this. I know it's probably a little bit hard to read. We will post the people who advance to the next round. But just in terms of the brackets, we split these up into the G-metric bracket, which is basically the limited late models and late models at Stafford. the Sweet Stock bracket, which is the streeters and or sportsman division at all 4 of the Connecticut tracks. And then we have the tube chassis bracket. That is the pro stocks at Seekonk and the Actolate models at all the other tracks other than Stafford. And then the truck off bracket is the trucks at Seekonk, the Speedbowl, and the Evolve Pro Truck Challenge. So we're going to take this one bracket at a time. You need to get at least 3 votes from the podcast crew to advance.
Yep. Best of 5.
All right, I'm going to start you off here with the G-metric one, and there's 5 of us taking the picks. I'm going to just drop for this segment real quick. We're going to just drop the Monaco ticker here for a little while we get through this segment. So the G-metric bracket, so there's myself and Diego and Rob and Jack, and then my man Mason is going to pinch hit for Remy with her picks. So we're just going to go through the bracket and see who's going to advance. We're going to start it off here. We got the defending track champion at Stafford, Kevin Gambacorta, against the crafty veteran. And so we have to say, it is kind of weird to see somebody like Wayne Corey Jr., who is no slouch, as the 16th seed.
Right.
But because we went from such a big pool of drivers,
Right.
a lot of there really is no bad drivers in these brackets.
Yeah, it's more of a testament to how stacked the field is that he's
Correct.
16th rather than bad about.
And we have to give a shout out to the open street stock drivers, like guys like Ryan Lynham, who won a lot of races.
Oh yeah.
And we saw when we posted the bracket today, and he posted something. I think he tagged somebody.
Yeah.
And when I saw his name, I said, "Oh,
yeah.
how did we not have Ryan?"
That's
Lynham?
Because the street stock bracket is so loaded.
Right.
And then you forgot about the open. They only ran like 4 or 5 races, but
Right. Yeah.
guys like him deserve to be on
Yeah,
there.
so-
in hindsight, when you look.
Yeah. So definitely our apologize to guys like Ryan who had a great. He was undefeated. At the Speedbowl, yeah.
Yeah.
So we expect the verbal abuse next time we see him. We deserve it.
That's okay.
We
That's
screwed
okay.
him. Yeah, we screwed him.
All we could do is face the music at this point.
All right, so let's go forward here. So Kevin Gambacorta against Wayne Corey. What do we got? Did anybody go for the upset special here?
I did not.
It's hard to upset.
It is.
Yeah, that's a 5-0 sweep there with Kevin advancing. We will go through these brackets, and then at the end, we'll show you what the pairings will be for next week. So we got the 8-9 set up here. Rich Hammond and Hammond against Cliff Saunders. Diego?
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
know who I'm going for. Richie Hammond.
Mason, who did Remy pick on this one?
Rich Hammond.
Yeah, okay.
Is this a clean sweep?
Yeah,
I think it is.
I picked Rich Hammond too.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
All right, another clean sweep. Let's go to the 4 seed, Paul Verricchio Jr. against R.J. Serdell. Diego, I'm going to have you go last on this one.
Okay.
And Mason, why don't you give me Remy's pick?
RJ Serdell.
Ooh.
Oh, a little upset there.
I'm going to tell you that I went with R.J. Serdell as well.
Wow.
The upset special. Jack, over to you.
Paul Verricchio.
Okay. Robert?
I picked Verricchio.
All right, 2-2.
Big guy.
I mean, what am I missing here? Verricchio had a year like.
I don't know.
All right.
What's the problem?
That's what I'm trying to. What's the problem? Verricchio.
Hold on. Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah, here we go.
See, the sun is shining.
It's a beautiful new season.
on Verricchio.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So is that who you picked?
That's who I picked.
All right,
I don't
good
know
luck.
how do you not pick that.
That's what I'm saying, guy.
All right. Yeah. So
The crazier last year.
all right. So let's go. Next up, we got the live wire Chris Meyer against
This was a pit. This is
two-time winner Daryl.
This is a
Keene.
tricky one right here. This
Yeah.
is not an easy one.
So if it's not, why don't you start us off then, there, buddy? What did
Well, listen, I'm still a Chris Meyer fan, but Daryl Keene,
Yeah.
he can upset anybody on any given night. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. Chris Meyer is my choice.
All right, Rob, what do you got?
I also have Chris Meyer.
Yeah, I'm just gonna speed it up here. Everybody went Chris Myers.
No,
really?
Yeah, it's a
I thought we
5-0
were
sweep.
building
Wow,
up to
I thought
something.
somebody would have
Yeah.
picked Keene on that one.
No, it's a 5-0 sweep.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the next one. What do we got here? Is Devin Jensick against Matt
This is
Winter.
controversy one too.
Yeah, Jack, why don't you start us off with this one?
Matt Winter.
Interesting.
Wow.
I went with Jensick.
Hmm.
I mixed it up with him. What do you got, Rob?
I picked Winter. I mean, he seems like kind of a beast, and I don't think that's going to slow down this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the aggression's going to be turned down.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Mason, what do you got from Remy?
Matt Winter.
All right, there you go. Your pick doesn't matter.
Thank you. Just so you know, I picked Mac winner.
All right, there we go. Let's go to Adam Gray versus Tom Fern.
You have to ask us?
Well, I mean, do I?
I don't think so.
Adam Gray.
Yeah.
That's it.
Adam Gray.
3-0 already.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I know he picked him.
I know you picked
And
it.
I definitely picked
Yeah.
him.
Right.
Mason, what do you got down there from Remy?
Tom Firm.
All right.
Oh,
That's
not
the lone Fern
unanimous.
pick. Adam Gray 4-1 on that one.
Okay.
Yep. All right, 7-10 matchups are always fun. Jeremy Lavoie, Kevin Cormier. Let's see. I'm going to have Rob go last on this one.
Mhm.
Mason, start us off there, buddy. What do you got?
Kevin Cormier.
Kevin Cormier, huh? Let's see what I picked. I went with Lavoie, the crafty veteran.
Cormier for me.
Ooh, 2-1 Cormier. Jack?
I went Lavoie.
Oh, Rob
I'm
for
gonna
the
be one who does
tiebreaker.
this?
Hit it.
I gave it to Cormier.
Oh,
Dude, he won a lot.
He's a
and
winner.
Not that many races.
mild upset there. That's the 10 seed advancing on.
Me and
Yeah.
Sid were talking about this earlier. I mean, the Lavoie driving style, don't get me wrong, great for championships. It really is great for winning championships.
Yeah.
But this is about coming off a 4 for the win. I mean, that was the rule set last year.
Yep.
Yes.
I give it to Cormier.
Okay. We'll allow that, I guess.
I guess. What do you mean? It's already set in stone.
Diego, why don't you start us off on this bottom one? Matt Clement and Alexandra Fern.
I'm going upset, baby.
Oh,
Alex Fern with the
15
big upset
seed.
here.
Okay. Jack, what do you got?
Matt Clement.
I as well went with Clement.
Mm.
Rob?
I as well went with Clement.
Okay. So that's 3 right there. So he advances. So
What
that
did Remy pick?
Remy picked Mason.
Clement.
I was the only one that.
You're the only one went upset special on that.
Dude, there
Wow.
could have been- that could be an upset.
I'm shocked that Remy didn't, to be honest.
Me too.
All right, let's go down to the sweet stock bracket here.
Oh, I love this one.
This is going to be a good one. We're going to start you off with Travis Hydar against the 16 seed, the at-large bid. We said we have to get this guy in the tournament.
He's a show.
Jimmy Sylvia, but it was a 5-0 sweep.
Wait, listen.
We
I'm gonna
got him
say
in
this.
there. We got him
To
in there.
even get mentioned to be on the brackets, as you just said, when some people didn't make the brackets,
Yeah,
there was a lot of good cars that maybe should have been on the brackets,
yeah,
but he made it in for the sole entertainment factor.
right. Yes, for sure.
Okay.
All right, next up, we got Al Stone against Colby Lambert, a quality 8-9 matchup.
This is quality pick right here.
I'm going to go last on this one. Mason, why don't you start us off, buddy?
Kobe Lambert.
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 We'll call him Hambert. That's fine. We can throw
Or,
that out there.
yeah.
Sure, why not?
I would not be shocked if he says that on Remy's sheet.
Yeah.
Well, he's feeling it. Okay, what do you got there, Rob?
I went with Al Stone.
Okay, 1-1.
Mhm.
Jack, over to you.
Lambert.
2-1 Lambert.
But how do I not go with Stone here?
I don't know. How do you not?
I don't know. You're last. Let's
Well,
go.
well, did you?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Stone's it.
Over to me for the tiebreaker?
Yeah.
I know who you picked.
What you do?
No, I don't.
What do you think I did?
I hope you picked Stone.
I believe that your Super Bowl or
Super Bowl.
That's bad. We got the water bowl.
sorry?
You know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, you got the water bowl?
Yeah, now we got the Super Bowl too. Yeah, I believe that your roots will take hold.
Yes,
Yeah.
I went with Al.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
3-2. 3-2 for Stone.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right, Stone's on.
All right. Over next, we got Aaron Plemons, defending champion, over at the Speedbowl against Jason Lafayette. We got a 4-13 matchup. Jack, why don't you start us off on this one, buddy?
I went with the 4. Aaron
Plemons.
Lemon.
Plemons.
It's faded on my thing.
Yep.
I can't read.
Diego?
Yeah, I went Plemons also.
Yeah, same here. We'll speed it up. 4-1 there. He already clinched with the 3. So 4-1
Yeah.
Plemons
Who
went
took
on
it?
that one.
Who
Remy
took Lafayette?
Remy did.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, Mason. Didn't mean to step on you there, buddy.
It's all right.
Appreciate you. All right, we're gonna go to the next setup.
Oh, this is a good one.
We got Travis Downey, Corey Fanning.
Ugh.
Now, my man Jack is a hoops fan, so he knows that the 5-12 matchup is usually where upsets are made.
Facts.
So we are going to, let's see who. Jack, I'm going to have you go last on this one.
All right.
All right. I am going to start it off with a guy who usually puts on a pretty entertaining show, likes to get the crowd all rowdied up. I went with Corey Fanning on this one. Rob, what do you got?
I took the champ.
You gonna?
Travis Downey?
Okay, you're just gonna. Okay.
Well, I just thought we kind of all do.
Yeah.
Oh, I know where this is going.
What do you got?
Oh,
I know where this
come
is
on.
going.
Come on.
Of course, I took Corey Fanning. He's a beast in these cars.
2-1 Fanning.
Oh boy.
Mason, over to you for Remy's pick.
Travis Downey.
Ooh,
Oh,
2-2.
boy.
Over to Jack for the tiebreaker. What do you got?
Come on, Jack.
Travis.
Hell yeah.
I
Down
knew
it.
that was
The
gonna happen.
champ
And
survives.
Stafford prevails yet again.
Exactly.
All right, 6-11 matchup. Norm Root and Doug Benoit. Let's go with we're speeding it up. Root 5-0 sweep. That car's fast, and we
Oh, yeah.
all saw it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he was even 6th seed. I know the way we've seeded them determined that he was 6th seed, but like to me, he belongs in the top 3 with that
Yep.
kind of speed.
We got Adam Petty over there as the 3 seed. Also the defending champ over there at Seekonk.
Oh yeah.
And for time's sake, we're going to speed it up. Another 5-0 sweep
Yep.
for Mr. Petty
Oh yeah.
over Ed Gertz, crafty veteran down at the bowl. And now we're going to have Tyler Trott versus one of the probably the craftiest of all veterans when it comes to street stocks, Leadfoot Larry Barnett. That's a 7-10 matchup.
Mhm.
Diego, what do you got?
I took Trot.
Jack?
Trotomania.
Automedia, baby.
Hell yeah.
Rob?
gonna do, brother?
Yeah, you know, I appreciate the Trotomania.
All
So
right, there you go.
Trott.
Mason?
Tyler Trott.
Yeah. I mixed it up. I went with Leadfoot.
Leadfoot's
Why
good.
not? You know what I'm saying?
He's
But,
really good.
yeah, tough to beat. He advances. All right, and then
Oh,
Ugh.
my poor boy Gaedecke's got this
Ugh.
matchup.
that's a tough pull from a man, Gaedecke.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? But listen, I know Gaedecke is my boy. He's a Giants fan,
Oh,
so
yeah.
he knows that it's
Listen,
sports can be tough sometimes.
I love me some Gaedecke myself, but
Right.
this is a tough matchup right
Yeah.
here.
Go ahead, hit it. What do you got?
I took Waterman.
Yeah. Rob?
I took Gaedecke.
Yeah, you
Good for
did.
you, bro.
Listen, I was talking to somebody about this earlier because this is probably my boldest pick I made, but I gotta make the case here. All right. He seems like a scrappy guy. I know Waterman is too,
Yeah.
but in my mind, Gaedecke's just gonna throw it all out there.
Can I change my pick?
You cannot.
No.
Damn.
No.
I think I'd like
Jack,
to take
you're up.
It seems like he's got
too.
less-
I went to Waterman.
All right. Mason, what do you got for Remy?
Ryan Waterman.
All right. So Waterman
Yeah.
goes. I had him as
Diego,
well.
you couldn't even give him
Four-
the backup.
I
and
should have
did,
traded.
and
I
did.
should have picked Gaedecke.
Yeah, you
I don't know
should've.
why I did that.
Unbelievable.
Damn it.
That's disrespectful.
I know.
It
Sorry.
really
buddy.
is, guy.
All right, let's keep it moving. Tube chassis bracket. Here we go. We got Dylan Estrella versus Emma Monahan. And what we're going to do here is we're going to have Diego go first.
Listen, you know who I'm picking.
Who are you picking?
Of course, my kid. Let's go, Emma. That's who I got. I hope one of you guys picked her. Rob.
Don't look at me.
Did he
Oh,
change
my-
that up? I thought he didn't pick Emma in the sheet.
I don't know. I didn't
Who?
see a sheet.
Did you?
Of course I did.
Oh, I had it as a 5-0 sweep.
You want to
You
see
read
my
it just
circle?
No, I trust you. I could have made a
Yeah.
mistake.
Oh,
it's fine.
yeah.
That's why I wanted you to go to first. I'm like, did he not pick his girl?
Oh, of course I
All right.
picked Emma.
All right, let's go to the second one then. What do we got here? That's a Gluchaki versus Jake Johnson. That's a quality 8-9 matchup.
Yeah.
It is.
Let's have what I'm going to do here is we're going to have Mason go last. I'm going to start it off here. I went with Gluchaki. Diego, over to you.
Yeah, glue chalky here.
Rob,
Took my man Jake Johnson. Hard to call it an upset, but you know, I went with him.
Jack.
Jake Johnson.
Oh,
Hmm.
tiebreaker. Over to you, Mason. What do you got from Remy?
Gluchaki.
Oh my.
Advances.
Remy,
Okay.
you're no fun.
All right, what else we got here? Luke LeBrun against Brian Tagg, 4-13 matchup. That's a 5-0 sweep for Luke LeBrun.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
All right, then we're going to go to the next one we got here. Jacob Burns versus Charlie
That's a good
Rose.
5-12.
And, you know, to the point of the 5-12 upsets, I went with Rose. I figured it's March Madness. Let's mix it up.
He wins.
Yeah.
He wins.
What do you got?
I went with Burns.
Yep, Jack.
Yeah, Burns.
Yeah, everybody else went Burns, 4-1.
Okay.
So let's continue on here. Vinny Arenagato against Colby Fournier, 6-11 matchup. We gave that a 5-0 sweep for our man Vinny.
Vinny Arenagato.
Arenagato. Look at you with the pronunciation. I like that. Let's follow it up here with Nick Johnson, the 3 seed, versus Mark Jennison. This was a tight battle. Diego, I'm going to have you go last.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start it off. I went with Mark Jennison.
Mm.
Rob, what do you got?
I went with Nick Johnson.
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Mason, what do you got from Remy?
Mark Jennison.
Ooh, 2-1 Jennison. Jack, over to you.
Jake Johnson.
2-2. Diego for the tiebreaker. What do you got?
Big Johnson.
Big Johnson with the advance.
Jesus.
Okay. Well played. Well played. All right, we're going Bobby Pelland versus Brody Monahan.
Oh, you didn't even ask me.
So Brody with the 10 seed. Now, of course, Brody and Gluchaki were two that were obviously had some success racing other places. They did not race in Southern New England too often. Hence, they had a little bit lower seed than you may expect.
They're both, when we were looking at this bracket,
Yeah.
they're both very dangerous
Yeah.
low
100%.
seeds. Like, who wants to face these two low seeds, really?
Right. All right, so you hit it, guy, because we know where you're going. So go ahead.
I'm 100% Monahan again.
All
Yeah,
right.
classic.
Rob, over to you.
I picked Brody as well.
All right. Jack, what about you?
I picked Brody Pelland, but Pelland?
Yeah, Pelland.
Yeah.
Bobby Pelland.
I wish I would have could take that one back. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. The graphics have already been set. You were walking.
It's
Yeah.
too late.
Mason,
What
why
an
don't
introduction, huh?
tell us who Remy picked.
I don't endurance this pick, but she picked Bobby Pelland.
That's how you stay loyal to your
Yeah.
favorite driver. Good job, my man. Good job, man. All right, so tiebreaker over to me.
Yep.
Diego, what do you think?
You better not have picked Pelland.
What do you mean? He's a good driver.
Not as good as Brody.
I mean, it's a 7-10 matchup. I could make an argument. No, I'm
Okay.
just kidding. I went with Brody.
Oh yeah, Brody's moving on, baby. Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Brody.
Shout out to Brody. All right, so then we got
this guy, Brody Pelland.
yeah, that's nice. He tried.
One of
He gave it a
each.
shot. He gave it a shot. All right, Jason Palmer versus Doug Curry. Another example of how it's tough seeding.
Dude,
Doug Curry had a really good season.
he had a
Couple
great
wins.
season and a 15 seed.
Yeah, it's tough.
Man.
So this one was a 5-0 sweep. We love Doug Curry, but Jason Palmer and his 100-plus wins, we advance on to the next round.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so let's go here for the last one, the truck-off bracket, I tell you. Rick Martin, Melania Shalosky started off. We all rooting for Melania to advance well in the trucks, but not this year for the
Right.
advance.
And she lost our camera.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe that's why we penalized her.
Yeah.
We didn't lose a camera on her car. So the crafty veteran, Rick Martin, also 100-something wins.
Mhm.
He will advance on. Next up, we have a Jake Veneta, Austin Long. I'm going to start this one off. Whoop. We don't want to do that. Hold on a second. Oh, boy. Here we go. I got
What
you.
happened,
No, I got you.
What happened?
I'm just feeling out.
All
some
right, all
buttons.
right.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So listen, I made a bold pick right here because I already know the verbal abuse I'm going to get from Austin and his dad Mike is tough,
Oh hell no.
but I went with my man Veneta just to mix it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a piece of crap.
I love it.
Let's speed it up though. I was the only one that did that.
Yeah.
Austin got
Hell yeah, Austin.
Austin
That's what I'm talking
advances.
about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we got the defending Speedbowl champion, Brad Strickland, against Tim Bolger.
Mhm.
That's another 5-0 sweep for our man, Brad. Now we're going to go to the next one. We have Todd Taylor, 5 seed, and Randy Burr, the 12 seed. 2 strong runners on the Evolve Pro Truck Tour.
For sure.
Diego, what'd you do?
I'm sorry, Todd. I'm very sorry, Todd.
Yeah.
His public YouTube apology.
But Randy Burr,
Yep.
that is a strong 12. He's very good.
Yeah.
I had to go with Randy Burr. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Todd.
Well, Todd, don't you worry because Diego's the only one that did, and
Wow.
Todd advances 4-1 on that
Good for
one.
you, Todd.
Yeah.
Wow.
So next up, we got Charles Beal, Mike Duarte. That's a 5-0 sweep for our man Chuck. Charlie Beal advancing.
Chucks.
Who the hell? Chuck.
I'm no Charles. I've never heard anybody call him Chuck. The hell?
I'm mixing it up here. We're
Thinking
having a
you're-
good time.
All right, Rem.
All right. All right. Over here, we got Nicholas Freschetti, the defending Evolve Pro Truck champion,
Yep.
and Amy Arsenal, who visits Victory Lane.
She's good.
Yeah. Jack, I'm going to have you go last on this one. Mason, why don't you give us your pick from Remy?
Amy Arsenal.
Ooh, all right. What do you got over there, Robert?
I went with Freschetti.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. My exciting picks are kind of over.
I mixed it up. I went with Arsenal.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went with machete.
Machete, Frschetti? Okay.
Machete,
Bruschetta? Yeah, right on.
Bruschetta.
I did go with Frschetti.
Oh, okay. So Jack didn't let me build up the 3-2 matchup. We went right into it. Frschetti advances. Thank you, sir. All right. And then the last two, for time's sake, we have Dwayne Knoll got the 5-0 sweep over Jason Paquette, and Jason Chapman, that man of what he win 10, 11 times.
Jason.
last year? I mean, Tyler.
Tyler.
I saw Jason Paquette. I screwed that up.
Yeah. I mean, both of those two,
Yeah.
I know Strickland won the championship, but I want to call them the big two in trucks.
Right on.
It's hard to, in a 1v1, pick anybody but those guys.
All right, so let's just see what we got here. Next week, we got some matchups here. Kevin Gambacorta against Rich.
Oh,
Ham.
my.
That's a good
2
good
5-0s.
Verricchio against Chris Meyer. That's going to be a slugfest. Matt Winter against Adam Gray.
These are awesome.
And Kevin Cormier against Matt Clement. Those are going to be some
Those are
tough
all
ones to pick.
all of them.
Oh, goodness. All right. Over in the, what else do we got to show you here? The Sweet Stock bracket. We got Haidar against Stone. That's a good one right there. Aaron Plemons, Travis Downey. Battle of Champions right there, if I'm not mistaken. Norm Root and Adam Petty, Tyler Trott, Ryan Wardman. Holy crap.
That's a stacked one, too. These are insane. What the hell?
Those are 8 heavy hitters
my
there.
God.
Holy crap. All right. Tube chassis bracket. Dylan Estrella against Glue Chalky. Luke LeBrun against Rowdy Burns. Vinny Diego. Aaron Nagato. Come on. Oh, I thought you were gonna hit that.
Oh, I can't say. I
Oh, I
can
thought
do
you
it
had it
after
earlier.
you say.
Oh, okay. So Vidier Nagato against Nick Johnson, and then an absolute slugfest with a history there.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a
Brody
good one. That's a
Monahan
good one. I'm in
and
for that.
Jason Palmer.
Ooh.
Looking forward to that one.
Get your
100%.
popcorn.
And then we go to the trucks. Rick Martin, Austin Long, crafty veteran against a young gun.
Yep.
Same with Brad Strickland versus Todd Taylor. Charles Beal against the evolved champ Frschetti, Machete, Bruschetta. And Dwayne Knoll against Tyler Chapman. So that is the how we're going to start things off. Let me sit there. We go. Come on. There we go. That's what I meant to do. All right, listen, I appreciate you guys being patient on that. The first round is always the longest because it's 32 matchups. That segment's going to go a little bit quicker as we move along. We'll have some fun with it. I will post on our Facebook page the full bracket with everybody advancing so you can see all the matchups for next week. A lot of fun with that. And big shout out to Seacon Grand Prix for sponsoring this segment for the month of March as we have fun with some Fendered guys. And now I am very excited because we have a brand new segment that we will be debuting. And guess what? It's going to be our man Diego that's going to tell us all the fun about it. Hold on one second, Diego, because I just want to get our friends over at Monaco Ford and the Scroll back up there for a little bit. And then we're going to hit you up with our brand new segment we like to call Viewer Mail.
That is awesome. All right, I'm happy to be able to get my own segment here. This is exciting. The first segment, something new we're doing, where people send in emails. So keep your eyes open, everyone. And
Sid's View Podcast at gmail.com is where you can send us your questions, comments, complaints, whatever.
and so we're going to pick one every week, and we'd like to discuss it. So
mail in your threats if you want.
Threats, whatever.
I don't care. We'll read them all.
Yeah, we want to thank Ed Marceau of Firewood and Land Clearing for, I think, the year for doing this whole thing.
They're going to be around for a while.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
And of course, you get me to do it. This ought to be very good.
Can you ask for anything better? I mean,
I don't know.
Come on, it's hard. It's hard
Some of these, I mean, somebody's going to ask some question throughout the year. It's really going to get me juiced up.
Oh yeah.
Get us started.
All right, so here we go. Our question this week was, why doesn't Remy have her own segment yet? What do you guys think it should be called if she did?
The Sid's View Podcast.
No, I'm going to tell you. Stupid shit Remy says.
Well, that's a great question. I believe we had that segment last year. We called it the Weekly Update.
I freaking love Remy.
Yeah, we miss Remy. She's
I love Rems.
sounds like she's going to go to Disney World every other week, so who knows how long she'll be with us in the studio, but when she comes back, maybe we'll figure a segment out.
A segment for Rem, because she is a firecracker. Oh, yeah.
All right, that's a good one. Listen, there's no rules for the viewer mail segment. It can be anything. So definitely keep those things coming. We will visit one or two of them a week and have some fun with that. Love to hear all the feedback from the peeps. It's time for another very popular segment that we like to call the Culture Minute. All right. So I got to tell you, can I just give a quick shout out real quick?
Sure.
I got a text from my cousin Mary Beth, who's not really a racing fan, but she texted me that she's watching the podcast. So just want to give her a shout out. Glad to see that our
Nice.
audience is growing and reaching outside of the diehard racing fans. So
I
that's
hope
pretty
she
cool.
likes it.
Yeah, giddy up. All right, so I got a cool one here for you. We had the Oscars here last weekend, and I used to be big on I am a big movie guy. I don't watch as much as I used to. The Oscars are nowhere near what they used to be. It was at one point, maybe about 20 years ago, not at the level of a Super Bowl, but it was a pretty big TV event. It's not that anymore. However, did you know that I went to high school with an Oscar winner?
Yeah.
2009, a gentleman named Jeff Fletcher won for Best Adapted Screenplay for a movie called Precious. And it's a tough movie. It's pretty dark subject matter. And here's a picture of my man Jeff right here.
Oh my.
It was the early
Who is
days.
this
They brought
guy?
the
Jeff
receipts.
Fletcher.
Okay.
He's a few years older than me. I played Little League ball with him. He threw gas. I was terrified to face him in Little League.
Really?
But I bring this up because there's a cool story here. So Jeff went to NYU Film School, and I went to New England Tech up in Warwick, Rhode Island. Not a film school, but it was for video production. More of a technical side of things, learning continuity edits and that kind of stuff, as opposed to creating films. Anyways, back at the old Sunset Ribs, which is a bar down here in Waterford,
Oh, yeah.
which was
Under
near my
the
house.
drawbridge.
So I saw him sometime after we were both out of school. I hadn't seen him in a long time, was talking to him. He is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. We were talking, and I said, so, he's like, yeah, I just got out of film school. And I was like, what's up next for you? He's like, I'm going to go to the West Coast. And I said, oh, really? I was going to make movies? He's like, got to be out there to see if the opportunities come about. And I said, so we wrapped up the conversation. I said, listen, next time I see you, probably be on TV with an Oscar, right? And he just said, nah, come on. He just shrugged it off because he's a super humble guy.
Right.
And then
You seen him on
some
TV
15 years later, he won an Oscar on TV.
That's cold.
So it was 2009. It was very early days of social media. And I remember that I was not with Tisha at the time yet. I was by myself at home watching the Oscars, and he won. And it was the first time I understood like social media, because all the people that I grew up with and went to high school, we were all freaking out because he actually, like, we just thought it was cool that he was nominated.
Right.
But the fact that he got up there and accepted it and was thanking his family, who we all knew, like
Right.
it was a really cool thing. Yeah. So he's actually been it's tough to keep up. He's not really like a prolific screenwriter. I think I read at some point that he was working on a biography on Hank Aaron.
Really?
And but I never saw any updates after that, so I don't know what's going on with him yet. But he's a super nice guy, and I will always remember that moment. So just really cool. So listen, I think we have successfully gotten through the first show of the 2025 season. It's always a blast to hang out with you guys. We appreciate all the support that you give us, and I want to make sure that you follow us on socials, as Rob helps me out with the soundboard. We got reels every day, something cool, something funny. Diego shouting us out.
Hell yeah. I love doing this part. Without all these people, we couldn't do this. So thanks to Belltown Motors for the weekly update. Of course, Waddell Communications for the Nostalgia Nugget. Hoosier Tirees back at it again with the Popcorn Stat Chat. Welcome Legion Speedway for Did You Know? Of course, Seacon Grand Prix for the March Madness bracket. Thanks so much. Ed Marcel and Firewood and Land Clearing, thanks for my episode viewer mail. Hell yeah. Riley Generators, welcome back for the Pop Culture Minute. Of course, Monaco Ford for the results ticker. We really appreciate that. Surf Pro, thanks for the chalkboard chatter. Of course, Mason Silva for hanging in the bullpen. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun.
My man.
Hell yeah. Of course, I want to thank Vault Productions for this kick-ass studio. It's really fun down here. Last but not least, I say it every week, but I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thanks to all you podcast members for joining and keeping up with us. And Rems, we love you. Hope you're enjoying Disney.
Yeah, hope you're back next week. I mean, Jesus.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next Tuesday. We'll do it once again. See you then.